Scorpio, listen to me with your soul for a moment. At midnight on November 24th, the energy around you does not turn like any ordinary clock hour. It cracks open. There is a shift in the field, a soft but undeniable tremor in the unseen, and for those who are sensitive enough to feel it, it will arrive as a tug in the chest, a sudden rush of awareness, a whisper that says, "Pay attention." This is the vibration of double luck, not loud and chaotic, but deep and precise, moving toward you as a major wealth shift that touches your finances, your sense of worth, and the way you stand inside your own power. If your eyes found this message before that threshold, understand this: you are not here by accident. Something in you, older than your fears, wiser than your doubts, has been calling this moment in for a long time. You felt it, haven't you, Scorpio? That quiet tension under the skin, as if life is holding its breath around you. Money has been a pressure point, but not just because of numbers in an account. It's the emotional story attached to it, giving more than you receive, working in silence while others collect the spotlight, watching opportunities brush past you as if you were invisible. Yet even in those moments, you did not completely harden. You still helped where you could. You still shared what little you had. You still whispered, "One day this has to make sense." The energy of November 24th at midnight is not a random stroke of luck. It's a response to those unseen choices. The universe does not keep receipts the way banks do, but it does remember how you showed up when no one was watching. And now that memory is becoming momentum. Astrologically, imagine the sky leaning closer to you. A symbolic alignment forms between the parts of your chart that govern resources, purpose, and expansion, creating a bridge between what you have survived and what you are ready to receive. You don't need to know every technical term to feel the impact. Your body will translate it for you. In the days leading up to the 24th, you may notice more vivid dreams, flashes of old money, fears resurfacing, or sudden thoughts like, "I can't keep living like this. Something has to change." That isn't panic. That's awakening. That is your higher self gently shaking you by the shoulders, guiding you toward a new agreement with abundance. Midnight becomes more than a time. It becomes a threshold, a line between the version of you that carried scarcity like armor and the version of you that is finally willing to let wealth feel safe. The idea of double luck might sound like a fantasy written for someone else, but for you, Scorpio, it is something more grounded. It is a double return on emotional investment. One stream can manifest in the physical, a payment you forgot about, a refund, a cleared debt, a new opportunity, a message about work or business that points toward greater income. The other stream flows in the invisible, a release of shame around money, a shift in your deservingness, the healing of a wound around being too much or not enough. The major wealth shift that approaches on November 24th is not just about a number increasing somewhere. It is about the moment your nervous system begins to believe, for real this time, that it is safe to be supported. When that happens, decisions change, boundaries change. What you will tolerate from others, and from yourself, changes. And that is where true wealth begins, in the quiet internal decision that you will no longer live at war with your own value. The tarot mirrors this energy in a way that is almost startling. For many Scorpio souls, this period is symbolized by the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Ace of Pentacles is that first glimmer of new income, a seed of opportunity that may arrive as a message, an idea, a job offer, or an unexpected adjustment in your favor. It might not look grand at first glance, a small raise, a client reaching out, a side idea that suddenly feels possible. But the energy behind it is what matters. The universe saying, "Here, this is different. This is the beginning." The Six of Pentacles is the karmic scale of giving and receiving finally starting to balance. You have spent so long being the one who lends, who helps, who listens, who props others up when they collapse. Now that energy begins to reverse, not as charity but as reciprocity. Help arrives for you without you having to beg for it. Support appears not because you broke down, but because you are finally allowing yourself to be seen. And then there is the Wheel of Fortune, that ancient reminder that no cycle, not even one of struggle, is permanent. You've been at the bottom of this wheel more times than you care to admit, watching others rise while you stayed in the shadows, carrying responsibilities heavier than your bank account could hold. But the wheel was never meant to leave you there. Its entire purpose is to turn. On or around the midnight hour of November 24th, that turn may not look like fireworks. It might look like a subtle but undeniable change in direction. A yes where there used to be a no, a door opening where there used to be a wall, a realization that you do not have to cling to survival patterns anymore. The wealth shift is not a lottery ticket dropped from the sky. It is the alignment of your choices, your healing, and your timing finally landing on the same note. Scorpio, you have a unique relationship with transformation. You don't just move on from things, you walk through them, die to old versions of yourself, and emerge carrying new truths like sacred relics. Money for you has never been just about comfort. It has been about dignity, safety, and freedom. You know what it's like to pretend you're okay when you're not, to shoulder burdens so others don't worry, to carry secret fears about the future while smiling on the outside. This is why the universe meets you so powerfully in seasons like this. It isn't just handing you coins, it is handing you permission. Permission to stop apologizing for wanting stability. Permission to stop making yourself small so that others won't feel threatened by your potential. Permission to walk into rooms as someone who is not begging for a seat at the table, but recognizing they have something valuable to bring. In practical terms, this double luck portal asks you to participate in small but meaningful ways. On the days surrounding November 24th, especially in the evening, consider creating a simple midnight ritual. It doesn't have to be elaborate or mystical in appearance, it just has to be honest. Dim the lights, light a candle if you can, gold, green or white. Place your hand over your heart and another over your lower belly and breathe deeply. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6, and repeat this until your mind begins to soften. Then, speak to your own life out loud, not to beg, not to plead, but to declare. Say things like, "It is safe for me to receive now. I release the belief that I have to suffer for every blessing. I welcome aligned opportunities that honor my integrity. I am ready for a major wealth shift that supports my peace." When you say these things while your body is calm and your energy is present, you are not just talking to the air, you are rewriting the script written in your nervous system. You may also feel guided to take grounded steps that echo this inner shift. Perhaps you look at your finances with clear eyes for the first time in months, not to shame yourself, but to see where your energy is leaking. Maybe you end a small subscription you no longer use, or decide to redirect a bit of money into a savings or debt payment plan, not from fear, but from respect for your future self. Maybe you finally send that application, accept that meeting, launch that offer, or respond to that message that's been sitting in your inbox, waiting for you to believe in your own value. These actions are like anchors for the wealth shift. They give the incoming energy a place to land. Abundance is not just a mystical wave, it is a flow that loves structure. When you create even a little bit of structure with love, the flow increases. Color and sensation can support you too. Deep emerald green, in clothing, on your screen, in your environment, speaks to the heart of rebirth and prosperity. It reminds your subconscious that growth is not only possible, but happening. Soft gold hues calm the fear that often rides alongside money, telling your system that wealth can be warm, not cold and harsh. Even something as simple as changing your phone wallpaper to an image of light pouring through a doorway or a lush, fertile landscape can act as a signal to your brain that a new chapter is being written. Never underestimate the power of small, symbolic gestures. Scorpio energy responds strongly to symbols because you instinctively read meaning between the lines. But perhaps the most important part of this midnight portal is the inner contract you choose to renew or release. Ask yourself gently, what belief about money or worth has been secretly running my life? Maybe it's, I always have to struggle. Maybe it's, if I become successful, I'll be abandoned. Maybe it's, other people are allowed to receive easily, but I'm not. On November 24th, let that belief come into the light, not to judge it, but to retire it. You can say, thank you for trying to protect me, but I don't need you anymore. You are not betraying your past by stepping into ease. You are honoring all the versions of you who prayed for a day when things wouldn't be this hard. Scorpio, there is also a relational layer to this wealth shift. Some of you will notice that as money energy begins to rise, certain people around you start to feel different, more supportive, more threatened, more distant. This is natural. When your vibration changes, your relationships are gently tested. Those who only felt comfortable when you were struggling may pull away or react strangely when you begin to stand taller. Those who always saw your light may finally feel safe enough to say, I've always believed in you. Part of this double luck isn't just about receiving, it's about refining your circle. Wealth is not just the size of your income, it is the quality of the energy around you. As your abundance grows, you are allowed to choose company that celebrates you, not just tolerates you. Let's talk about doubt, because it will try to creep in. There may be a part of you that hears all of this and says, what if nothing happens? What if I get my hopes up for no reason? That voice is not your enemy. It is a tired guardian, trying to protect you from disappointment. You don't have to fight it, you can simply say thank you for looking out for me. But this time I am choosing to stay open anyway. The wealth shift around November 24th is not a demand for blind belief. It is an invitation to curious trust. You don't have to pretend you're 100% certain. You only have to be willing to lean a little more toward possibility than toward fear. That tiny lean is often all the universe needs to work with. As this energy unfolds, you might notice signs repeating around you. Numbers like 8, 11, 24, 88, 818 or 1111. Images of open doors, keys, coins, overflowing cups. Conversations about money, opportunity, or relocation appearing out of nowhere. Treat these not as proof, but as gentle winks from the universe, reminders that you are in conversation with something bigger than you. When you see them, pause. Breathe. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, I see it. I'm listening. I'm ready. Each time you do that, you bring your mind, your body, and your spirit into a single line of awareness. That alignment is where miracles like to land. And Scorpio, as this message reaches its closing, there is something important your soul needs to hear, softly, honestly. This narrative is not a rigid script of what must happen. It is a mirror of possibility, a story about one powerful way your energy could unfold in this window of time. Think of it as a sacred thought experiment for the soul, a spiritual reflection of what becomes available when your heart, your actions, and your timing begin to resonate together. If these words awaken something inside you, if they make your intuition hum and your chest ache in that way that feels like truth, then take what you need from them. Hold on to the parts that strengthen your faith, your clarity, your self-respect. If any part of this does not resonate, you are free to let it pass like a cloud crossing a wide night sky. Not every message is meant for every journey, and that is perfectly okay. This is not financial advice or a promise of guaranteed outcomes. It is an invitation to recognize the power already living within you, the power to change your relationship with wealth, to make new choices, to open to support, to co-create a different chapter than the one you were handed. Whether your next blessing arrives through a bank account, a job, a person, or a quiet inner peace that changes how you move through the world, the real miracle is you, your courage to keep believing that your story is not over, that your value is not negotiable, and that you are allowed to step into a life that finally feels like it fits the size of your spirit. If your heart agrees, even just a little, breathe in this truth and let it settle. I am ready for double luck. I am ready for a major wealth shift. I am ready to receive what was always meant to find me.